So today, like I was saying earlier, we are having Angela Robinson from the show The Haves and the Have-Nots. I always kind of get that mixed up, but The Haves and the Have-Nots, okay? Great show. It's on OWN. I don't know who out there watches it, but if you watch it, go ahead and do that red heart and let me know that that's your show. I have gotten such a great response from people that do watch it and are excited about this live. Okay, so she plays the Veronica Harrington on the show. I'm not completely familiar with the show, but you know what? I did my little what I call crash course. I did a crash course, guys. I did a crash course, and tried to figure out as much information about the show because that's what journalists do. You try to get armed. Sorry, I'm trying to put my watch on, this little cheap watch. You try to arm yourself with information and you do as much as you can. Hello, October 2nd. Thank you for joining the live today. So it's 4:01. Let's see where Angela is so we could get this live started. I know you guys have been waiting. So let's see where she is at so she could join here. Angela. Not yet. She's not here yet. It's back. You got me. Ha. Psych. You got me. Instead, I tricked you. So I'm just going to hang out for a little bit, try to get everybody on and try to wait for Angela to... There is Miss Angela Robinson. Hello, ma'am. Let's get her going in this live right now. Hey, Gina.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. You look beautiful.
Oh, so do you. Thank you.
Thank you
so much for taking the time out of your schedule today. And oh my God, I appreciate it.
Of course. I'm happy.
And this is a great day to do it because it's what WCW.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
And you are crushing it, okay? You are. So I don't even know where to start because I have like so many questions, to ask you. And there was so many things that I learned about you that I just was like, okay, look, I can.
Come on, let's chat. Let's talk.
I love that you do. Is for a while, I was reading an Essence article, but you design your own wigs, or you have designed wigs at all? Have you?
No. Okay, so I love wigs. I'm a wig girl. I love wigs. I love my natural hair too. I love the Black girl magic versatility.
For sure.
But no, I just tell my guy what I want. And he makes what I want. So we collaborate. And yes.
So you're on the collaboration end of things.
I'm on the collaboration end, and he's amazing. So I love myself some hair.
No, listen, I'm in the same. That's why I said we and you can hang, because I'm in the same boat. I mean, my hair is already down here.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
I just feel like, especially being in media, a lot of times, like, I don't want to damage my hair by too much heat, too much, color. Yeah. And if I want to do some like nice fall, summer color, let's slap that wig or, clip in something to give that extra, bubble.
Yes. Yeah. That's why we're magical.
Yeah.
Because we can do all that fun stuff with hair. I mean, I don't know. Kudos to the people who can wear the same style every day and be content with that. But, I like to switch it up. After about a month, I'm like, give me something else.
And with everything, okay? It's with nails, that's with whatever.
Yes, with clothes, with nails.
Yeah.
Well, I've had the same husband for 24 years, so I don't switch. I don't switch him up.
Yeah.
But in general, yeah,
Yeah.
I like to switch it up.
For sure. Now, how have you been holding up during quarantine? I like to ask everybody that question because, with this time passing, people mentally, it's getting
Yeah.
to them. So,
Yeah. You know what? I've been holding up really pretty well. I have a friend that I just talked to yesterday, and he was saying that he stopped saying this is a lot, because he was saying that a lot. He said I was saying that a lot, and so he said I started saying, well, you know what? This is not a little. It's not a little. Because that was a little more positive than saying it's a lot.
right.
So thank you, Robert Hartwell, for giving me that. So I will say it's not a little, but but I've been doing pretty good. God has sustained all of us, I think, and I think it's a mindset too. I think we have to just continue to understand that normal is not, it doesn't exist. And
Mm-mm.
so if you're chasing normal, you're going to be frustrated.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. One thing I did see a quote, somebody said, stop saying, can 2020 get any worse? Because it continues to get worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking that question. Stop putting that out there. So I was like, you know what? That is a good idea to stop, like, because people don't realize the power in their voice and how if everyone as a collective, you're moving that universe in that direction, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just be careful what you say. But I'm glad to hear that you're holding up. Um,
I'm holding up, and I think we're going to look back on 2020, and it's going to show itself as being one of the most pivotal years of our lives.
for sure. For sure. Well, I know with quarantine, we've all had to kind of, I would say, get into our creative side,
Mm-hmm.
finding other ways to put out our work, our talent, and just like kind of, pushing the limits and pushing the boundaries. One of the ways that I see that you did that is through, excuse me, I'm kind of looking at my notes, but
Yes.
um you did it's
Yeah, because I've done a lot during quarantine.
no, but you've come together and gave actors or a voice with through theater. So talk to me about how people that are in theater and are theater lovers, how can they support those theater actors who are like out of work right now?
Yeah, well, one, call your congressman and tell them to approve this next stimulus, because we need that. And two, when the theater comes back, support. And three, when you have a Zoom event, when you have a wedding, when you have things, don't call your artist friends talking about, do me a favor. Pay people for their gifting. So
Mm,
if they're coming to serve you, pay them, and consider ways that you can patronize them by hiring them to sing or to edit your videos or to plan your events. If you're doing Zoom events, you might want to be creative about it. So hire an events planner, because they're not working as much right now. So, there are many ways that you can help artists, but you got to be willing to compensate. And sometimes artists get the short end of the stick on that. We'll pay a tech person, but then you say an artist and you go, oh, can you do it for the Lord? So,
no, for sure. And here, that's the thing. I find probably the reason why you resonate and you understand it is because you were on Broadway and you did Color Purple, playing
mhm.
Shug Avery, which
Yeah.
yes, so you did that for a very long time. Um, I know now you've transitioned to TV, could be completely two different worlds. How are you adjusting to the TV world from the theater?
Well, I love both, and I will always want to go back on stage. That's my first love. That's where I always want to be. But I love both, and I appreciate both. So I don't know. I just want to work in every area that I can. I'm so grateful to have had the experience of working with Tyler Perry, because he you can be up close and personal with him. And many times when you work with big networks, you never meet the president of the network or the owner of the studio. You never meet Walt Disney. You just yeah. But with Tyler, he directs every show that we do, so we're on set with him all the time, and so you can be up close and personal, and you can get some of that anointing.
No, I actually interviewed him. He was my first interview at the top of this year. And so I was like, you know what, 2020 is about to go down. But you know what, it ended up working out. But even talking to him and doing the interview with him, because it was for...
Was it for Grace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So were you with Crystal?
I was with Crystal.
Yeah.
I did Crystal, Mr. Perry, Mrs. Rashad, and I also did Brescia Webb, which I've interviewed Brescia for the show Marlon too. So me and her were kind of like girlfriends catching up, type of deal. Yeah, but that was my first interview. Well, no, I had a second interview. I forgot about it, but it wasn't on video. It was audio only with Tyler. But he's he's very intense, very, and knows what he wants. And Brescia was saying, like, he'd be on set and be like, like kind of helping gear everything in the way that he felt that, it should go. So yeah.
His name is on it.
Right, for sure.
So he's definitely hands-on. He cares about everything. If you walk on and your wig ain't right, he'll be like, well, what's going on with your hair? And, and the thing that I love about him that I don't think many people know, Tyler notices everything.
Right.
If you decide you want to switch your line up and do it, he'll say, now that's not quite what I wrote. He notices everything, and he gives a lot of freedom, which is really nice. He's very good at freeing you, so he doesn't hold you as an artist, but he notices everything. Nothing goes by him. Nothing, as many people as he has to manage, nothing gets by him.
Right. Now I know your character was only supposed to be on the show for a short period of time, but then that got extended, right?
No, she was always a series regular. Yeah, from the beginning, but she was only I was only guaranteed like a small amount of episodes per season. Because she was just gonna pop in and be snooty and go on by her business. But thank God.
Yeah, so popped in a little bit more, and but I have noticed, like, when I posted, I'm gonna interview you today, the impact of people were like, okay, but she is nailing that character. She plays the mess out of that character. You're an attorney on the show that's no nonsense type of attorney. But how does it feel to still, even though she could be something else, how does it still have that impact with audiences?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I've never experienced anything like it in my whole life. And someone said to me, a very dear friend of mine, Renee Goldsberry, hey Renee, said to me, there's nothing like a soap audience. And she was on One Life to Live for a long time. And she said the audiences, just because, you know, the storyline goes on and on and on and on, and people get so invested in the characters. And she was just saying how great those fans were. And I'm telling you, we're a nighttime soap, but I remember falling in love with The Young and the Restless, and, you know, and knew all the character and were mad at the ones I was mad at. You know, I remember all of that. And so I can appreciate how people feel about her. And I just love that, somehow, as hateful as she is, people still find it in their hearts to say kind things, and I appreciate it.
Yes, no. So, you know, one thing that, you know, I heard about your your character is, don't come for Veronica, because she will come for you.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Angela needs to take note. But I mean, I can get with, I think my good girlfriend says all the time, you know, when you read a person, they don't even realize they've been read until like 2 days later. They go, she, did she just say? But Veronica, you know, in the moment that you're being read. And I love saying all those lines. I love the lines that Tyler writes for that character.
so who do you have in mind? Because I'm thinking Diane Carroll. Like, who do you have in mind when you go into that character? Because from what I was told, my friend Gina Green, she said she's met you on the red carpet as well, and she said you're just the sweetest pie. So where do you go, and who are you pulling from in order to, you know, be in this character, be Veronica?
Well, you know what's so weird? The minute I read this character, I knew her immediately. Yeah,
What,
immediately.
like, did you envision who, like, talk me through that?
I know her. I'm not going to tell you who it is, because they will take it as an insult. Okay. But I know her. You know, the thing about her is that her biggest problem is that she's a perfectionist and she's controlling. Mm-hmm. You got both of those together, it's horrible. So she cannot make a mistake, and she has to control everything. So I don't think that her problem with her son is not so much that her son is gay, but I think it's so much that you did not become who I told you to be. Oh. And you did not live your life the way I planned it. I planned all this out. And so for a woman to, you know, grow up in the projects and become, you know, a top attorney and become a millionaire from her entrepreneur pursuits, she's very bright. And that perfectionism and that controlling, her controlling ways, they really have benefited her. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know how to not flip it on people she loves. So she's just like, you're going to do it how I want it done, or you dead.
Not you dead.
Yes, I'm going to blow this house up.
No. Right. That and people that you love, your character on the show has been having dreams about, I don't know, are you guys divorced or separated, or
what's my husband?
Yeah, your ex-husband, you know. So do you think that Veronica is gonna get back with him? She's missing him? What?
Yeah, she's missing him. I think, you know, she likes the little boys, and they like her. But in the end, you know, don't we all, as mature women, in the end, even though it might be fun to play with little James, but in the end, we want a man, you know, a real grown man. And so I think that he represents that for her. And she definitely, I think, sees how she pushed him away. And I don't know if she's the type that would have regrets. I don't think. Yeah.
Is she the type that has room for forgiveness in her heart, or the type to admit that she's wrong?
To him, yes. I
Okay.
think she will admit that she's wrong to him. He has a very special place in her heart. But I don't think that she will change for him.
No. So that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, so I don't think they could get back together.
I mean, what is there? Because it on the show, didn't she kind of run her husband out, kept accusing him of cheating, and then eventually he was like, all right, well then,
Then I'll cheat.
not saying that's the best way to handle that situation, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think she definitely pushed him. He did some things too, but I think she definitely pushed him, and she just really, she's just one of those people that have to be the center.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of know people like that, you know. She has to be the center of your world, and if she sees you paying attention to somebody else, now with regard to that, she is usually right. She knows people because she's an attorney. She can read people very well, so
Right.
she's usually right. When she look at Miss Thing and she sees Miss Thing looking at her, she go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, she just should have had a little bit more faith in her man.
Yeah, of course. And let me double back too, because when you mentioned your son, so you actually have adopted your son.
Yeah.
And so you have an adorable son, but let's think about like 16 years from now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you hope he will say about Veronica as a character or about you as an actor?
It's so funny because now when it comes on, we turn it off because like I don't want to say mommy because he's just two. But when he's 18, I hope that he will see the work that went in to crafting Veronica, and I think that's sort of the thing that gets lost. Because I love that people love the character, and so people will say, "Oh, girl, you told him off, and you did that," but it's not a reality show, so it wasn't me telling him off. So, you know, I didn't. I mean, it was
Angela.
it was right. It was the character telling him off.
Right.
So you know, sometimes it's nice to hear from other artists or other, for instance, my good friend Paula Newsome, an artist and actor that I respect so much. She texted me today and said, "Oh, that your scene on Tuesday night was crafted so well. The subtlety was just so." So when somebody talks to me about the work, then I'm like, "Oh, you
Right.
saw the work."
Right.
Because you know, because I'm working, you know, I studied acting to be an actor, so I'm not being myself, and I appreciate it when people say, when you slapped him and when you, but I really am working.
Sometimes when people play a character so well, I think people, the lines do get blurred. I
Yeah.
just think about Felicia Rashad. I mean, people still call her Mrs. Huxtable. People,
Mrs. Huxtable. Yeah. It, yeah, and I love that. I love that. That makes me very happy, and I take that as a compliment. But I do think we sometimes look at other characters who are awful and play evil, and we say, wow, that person's a great actor. For instance, when Denzel did
Training Day.
Training Day.
I had a conversation with my boyfriend the other day. Yes, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
you want to get to that point in your career where the work is noticed.
Right.
That you know, wow, that person. But I'm new to a lot of people, because I've done theater for 20 years, so I'm new to a lot of people. So they're not quite clear yet that I'm working. So I'm like, oh, you evil girl.
So let's do the flip side of that coin. Speaking of Denzel, watching a movie with Denzel in it, and I was thinking for so long he played the good guy, the you know what I'm saying, the good guy in every movie. So I'm pretty sure he was said, enough of this now, you
Yeah.
know, play dirty too.
Yeah.
And so then when the world saw him in that different light, it was shocking because, you know, we only saw him doing this.
Yeah.
So I think too, you know, it made, like you said, you know, you're new to people's eyes, but you've been working. So maybe it takes a role where they see you more vulnerable or crying or, you know,
Yeah.
and not this little gangster, because you almost like a G now. You got your goons. You sending
She
out,
gangster. She gangster. She gangster.
like you got your goons on them. You telling people what to do, where to go, and how to have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I can think of.
Yeah. And you are so right. I think you know, when we do something different, that's when you know, that's when it's recognized that, oh, there's range.
Right.
You know, there's range there. Yeah. I think that's why when a lot of people from another country come to our country and they do a movie and they're not speaking in their accent, but they're speaking, and they get like, whoa, they were fabulous, because you're like, oh, they did something, they showed range.
Range, right. Right.
And I think that's definitely important. Yeah.
Take time too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
When that opportunity avails, because right now, like people have said, you know, you are playing the role to a T.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
from
I am having the best time. I am having
have to
the
be.
best. Oh my God. I get to blow up houses and tear up glass and tables and rooms
and,
and cuss people out. I love it.
you know, some days, you know, like you said, you wish Veronica can help out Angela sometimes, but there are days where you wish you could do that with no consequences or repercussions, you know?
Girl, many times. I mean, I love it. It's just, I get to say what I feel. I get to sleep with young boys, you know? Not that I want to do that, but I'm just saying I really am so appreciative to Tyler,
Right.
because you know, it's very rare that there's good writing for mature women.
Right.
Like, you know, to still be able to play sexy and still be desired, and you know, you know, we get washed up sometimes after 35, you know. You know, so I really am grateful for him for giving me the opportunity to sort of represent my sisters, you know.
Well, black don't crack, so you know, I mean,
Okay, that's right.
but she doing crack, but that's a whole nother.
No, you didn't. I love you. I love that.
But what I picked up from a fan, they, you know, everybody says that you know, definitely played that character, but they felt like it maybe get blurring on the line of like predictable, or like they kind of know that Veronica's going to do this and Veronica's going to do that. So do you think viewers will get to see another part of Veronica? Like maybe Tyler will throw a little bone in there and make you vulnerable at one point.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's been, you know, my hope for a while. Every season I go back to work and I go, she's gonna be nice this season, right? And he's like, nope.
I mean, just if it was for a second, you know, if it was
I know.
one moment for her husband, you know, or ex-husband, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, because I think if there's love there. And I really do believe that there's love for her son as well.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointment, but definitely love. It would be lovely. I mean, it's a dream of mine, but then, you know, the fans say they want that, and then the minute she's nice for for 2 weeks. They're like, okay, I need Veronica to get back.
Right. But sometimes you can't please everybody. I mean, some, so
But it would be fun. It would be fun to play.
Yeah. So enough about Veronica. Let's talk about Miss Angela Robinson right now. Okay?
Uh-oh.
So what do you do to have fun or relax? What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do to have fun and relax is that I love anything with water. So I love going to the beach, although it's fall now. It's getting to be fall. So that's sad. But I love the beach. But one of my favorite things to do is just play, be with my son, hang out with my son and my husband. And the three of us just do silly things. We have, unfortunately, during quarantine, adapted a tradition, a habit that I'm gonna have to figure out whenever I have to get in one of them dresses again, because we have milkshake Fridays. That has not done my well for my jeans, but it's been fun.
Fridays.
Milkshake and every Friday, because I'm teaching my son, the days of the week, and Monday, Tuesday, and he goes, Mommy, it's Friday, milkshake Friday. So, I don't know.
You know what I did make? Because I do videos on YouTube, cooking videos, because I love it. And I've been eating a lot with this quarantine.
Girl, can't stop. I mean, it's just a mess. Pancake Sundays. We have pancake Sundays, milkshake Fridays.
Good Lord.
I know. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So, yeah, stuff like that. Sometimes we just get in the car and drive. I love it.
A copycat Starbucks version of the vanilla bean frappuccino. I don't like coffee. She said you should have never said it. And it tastes just like a milkshake, too, the vanilla bean frappuccino. And I mean, oh my God, it is so good. And that's as close as a milkshake I could get, because I'm lactose intolerant. You don't want to be around me.
Me too. But I was like, we ain't going nowhere. It's just us. I'm lactose intolerant. But listen, and you can go to the nice little vegan places and get
for sure
vegan milkshakes, right?
So,
but listen, I tried to fool my smart 2.5-year-old, and I made smoothie, right? And I used to make him smoothies now and then. And he loves smoothies. So I was like, I'm gonna put put the almond milk in it, put some yogurt in it. Yeah. And I was like, Robbie, it's a milkshake.
He said, get this out of here.
Mommy, this is not milkshake, this foodie. He said, it's foodie.
I'm not out.
So I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this milkshake Fridays. Maybe when it gets cold, he won't.
You started, like you said, a bad habit. Now you can't get rid of it. I don't know what you're gonna do, Angela.
I don't either. But the memories, when I think about my childhood, and I had so many memories with my parents, and they, my mom lives with me now. So, and my father's not with us anymore, but they're my heart. And I grew up as an only child. And so we did a lot of traditions, a lot of things. And when my dad was on the night shift, on Friday nights, he always brought home ribs at night. So we had ribs on and I remember that. That's like so clear from when I was a little girl. So I hope in the end that we're creating memories for him. Oh. That he will always remember and say, remember when we used to have milkshakes every Friday,
And probably pass that on to his children,
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's cool. So how is motherhood for you? Even, during this pandemic, how are you even explaining that to
Yeah, it's been great, interesting, and oh my God, all at the same time.
Right.
Um, he really is good about his mask, and thankfully
That's
yeah, he's 2.5. So once we told him you have to put this on, he's really good about that, and he sees mom and papa, we have ours on. Sometimes he wants to fuss about putting it on, but papa used to tie it too tight. But
okay.
but in general, motherhood has been sweeter in quarantine.
Really?
And while I am more exhausted than I've ever been, and I think that's because I took on so many projects. You know how we do. We can't, us women, we get like, oh, I can't just sit in the house. I got to do stuff. I got to start something. I got to start another business. I got to, that's how we are, right? We can't just sit.
Sitting out.
So I'm like, why do I have a full schedule in the house? So, just a full schedule. I have a meeting, and then I have to go, and but so while that is the case, and I'm really tired, and I'm really balancing and trying to figure out also homeschooling. He is just 2.5, but he was going to be going to preschool, so I'm trying to still keep that routine for him and say, okay, now it's school time, and we go on our little so doing that, and then doing the shows that I've been doing in quarantine. And I have to wake up at 5 in the morning to do hair and makeup, because once he gets up, the day is, I can't stop to do, the day is gone. So it's been an adjustment, but I was like, wow, I was wasting a lot of time before.
Oh, that's what you realize?
Yeah, like I was wasting a lot. I was spending a lot of time looking at shows. People ask me now, did you watch so on Netflix? Girl, I haven't watched a show in months, because I just don't have time. I mean, yeah, so I feel like, story time with him and teaching him. And I was so, blessed to be able to afford childcare.
Right.
But once COVID happened, I couldn't risk people coming in with my mom. My mom's 93. So I had to protect her. And I realized, wow, God, you gave me a gift. Like it's tough, but my husband's here, and we're doing it together, and we're doing it in ways that we would have never done, in
Right.
terms of piggybacking, and you do this and I'll do that. And we have dinner and lunch together every day. It's just been a gift that
Yeah.
I'll never forget. And I hope he never forgets it either. It's been a gift.
Yeah. Now, speaking of your husband, you guys have been married for how long?
24 years.
So, and I hate to say relationship advice, but let's just say it, relationship advice that you could give other married couples to, keep it going strong and long.
Yeah. Yeah. Friends. Marry your friend. Marry your friend. Because in the end, you're not going to be mad at your friend too long.
Right.
You're going to want to make peace with your friend. If you don't like the person, you're like, I ain't talking to you for the next 10 years. But if if this is your friend, right. And he's truly my best friend. Yeah. And he's the best dad. I mean, we alternate mornings, and this morning Robbie and I were going for a run. So I'm trying to get this ice cream situation, milkshake situation straight. So I really feel like at one time I was trying to wait until my husband took Robbie so that I could work out. And then I realized my workout time was getting in the way of my work time. So I was like, I got to work out with him. Like, we just got to work out together. So we went for a run. We went for a jog today, and he did great. And see, he's napping because I wore him out. But see, but my husband came outside, and it was his morning off, and he was like, I'm not gonna miss this fun. So yeah. We practiced climbing trees. We spent like a whole hour and a half trying to get up a tree. I didn't make it. My husband made it, and but he's just that, we've just really, I think, become a closer family in quarantine. And my
That's
husband is just, I don't know. They don't make him like him. They just he he's all that. He told me in my wedding vows. He said in my wedding vows that I promise to value your dreams more than I value my own.
girl.
And I thought, oh, that's so sweet. That's what when he said, I just said, oh, that's the sweetest thing. And I was tearing up. But honestly, he's lived that promise. He has been, I'm doing this with you now. And he's upstairs with our son. And he's like, let me know when you're done. And I'll be sure he's quiet and do what you have to do. And I do the same for him. But I think you do have to have that. If you're with somebody that doesn't value your dreams, it's going to be tough.
Oh yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Also, too, he's a actor
Mm-hmm.
and an acting professor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lines with him.
Do I run lines with him?
Mhm.
We wouldn't stay married. Okay. Yes, he's a coach. When I was young, when we were first newly married,
Uh,
he brilliant. If you Whenever you get to see him act, he's brilliant. He's a classically trained. He does Shakespeare. He's a wonderful coach. And so I was doing musical theater and had really done mainly ensemble roles as a singer dancer.
okay.
And I was moving into doing lead roles. And I said, Scotty, I have this scene. Let's work together on it. Who are you yelling at? So, girl, I said, wait a minute, wait. Now let's see how this is gonna work. So, you know what I did? I went back to acting school. 2 years I took off from working to go back to school because I said, you're not gonna be talking to me that way. I'll go get my own training. And and I did. I studied with his teacher because I was like, okay, I'm gonna even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. And so it was the best 2 years of my life. And so when we came together again to read together, we were more equals, you know what I mean? Because I had that training and I was able to say, I don't think the character would do that. And I would know how to explain it. Because before he would go, well, how do you know the character wouldn't do it? I'm telling you the character would do it. So, I mean, we can read together now. Okay. But we couldn't in the beginning. Now we support each other. Most auditions now for film and television, there is no theater. There's not much theater happening right now, unfortunately, but we're praying for that. But most auditions for film and television are at home now. Oh. So you have to record yourself at home and send it in. So we both need each other now. Yeah. So we're like, okay, what time can you read with me? And don't make me mad. That's it. We both need each other now, which has been great. That part has been great too.
Do you think that the reason why you were little, because as Miss Erykah Badu says, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so that's yeah.
No. Yeah, you work on something, you've been working on it, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And somebody you going, well.
Excuse me.
But then when you trust the person, and I do trust him and his artistry, and we have a consulting firm where we give workshops. We used to go to different cities and do it, but now with quarantine, we are offering it via Zoom. So it's going to be in November,
Okay.
I don't have the exact date in front of me. So you guys, you'll see if you're following me, you'll see when I post it. But yeah, so people that work with him, they really are changed by working with him. I don't know of a more serious artist than my husband. I don't know of a more dedicated person. So if you coach with him, he is all in. He is dedicated. He is serious about the work. And so even when he watches Haves and Have Nots, he's watching it like,
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They could have did that line.
Yeah, right.
Watch the show.
Just watch the show. Yeah. So yeah, he's I admire him. He's my favorite actor in the world.
That's great. That's great. Now, one thing that I know you launched is your like own IG show called Artist Talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that don't know about that, let's talk about it. What is Artist Talk? What are you doing on there?
Wow. Yeah. So Artist Talk, we're usually on Wednesdays at 3:00. And when we first went into quarantine, we had like 2 or 3 people in the theater community that had COVID, and they were really struggling. And some we didn't have any information how they're doing. We know he's in the hospital. How's he doing? And so when my friends got better, I thought, let's go live so people can see you. And, we can show them that you're better and you can talk about your experience. And, it was so hard hit here in New York. So, everybody was worried about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went live with my friends every week to sort of tell their story about how they overcame and how they couldn't breathe and got out of the hospital and all the symptoms they're still having. And now, I don't know, 5 months later, we're still on every week. And it went from that to George Floyd. So it went from that to the revolution.
Right.
And so, then, I started talking to artists about, how do we activate and artivism and the things that we're creating to speak to the times and all of that. And that's been great. And now I'm just talking to people. So, it's just every week. It's always great. We go live sometimes. Some I record and then edit and produce later. I've really enjoyed doing video editing. That's a new thing. That's a quarantine.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm video editing like crazy.
I'm high-fiving you. So, that's a quarantine thing, right?
Yeah,
who had time?
For sure.
So that's been great. Artist Talk. And then after George Floyd, then I launched BWBS, which is Black Woke Business Spotlight. And that's when I interview Black-owned businesses. It's sort of their own little commercial with me. Right. And I feature their product and all of that. And so that's been fun too. Yeah.
You're creating. I love it. I love it. Well, I just got a message saying that I have to wrap up with you, but I could literally talk and go. This is so fun. I love this.
Oh my God. I am having such a good time. I'm wishing you all the best.
Same to you. I love your family time, these family time stories. If you have time, again, sometime down the line when this is all over, who knows when that'll be, but hopefully we can do this in person.
Oh my God. That would be so good.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Tim. Tim's down there. Yeah, that would be so good. Keep up the great work. Keep your creativity going, girl. It's going to pay off.
I will. And I'm going to start following you now because I might inbox you and send you some recipes that you can cook with your family. Especially the Starbucks Frappuccino one. You got to do it. You got to.
Oh, you're doing a book? Are you going to do a book?
I'm not doing a book. I'm going to send you the video link to my YouTube video.
Yes, your YouTube. Yeah, okay, do it.
Yes.
And then when I prepare it, I'll tag you on it.
Thank you. This has been great, Angela. So I thank you again so much. Keep crushing it.
Thank you for having me. You keep crushing it.
All right, thank you.
And we're going to keep wearing our hairs.
Hey.
Have a good stuff. Mwah. Take care.
You
Bye.
too.